Nazi technology.
That
And
does sound fun.
yeah, it does. And, he basically found some documents that said, no, superconductivity was not discovered by a couple of guys that are on Wikipedia in the 80s. He's got German documents that basically show that from Lonnie Zamora to other crash events, as well as sightings of man-made craft. So that's there's lots of great investigators that are doing good work right now, pushing the needle forward.
Do you, when you look at some of that World War II stuff and what Hitler may have been studying, do you think any of that is tied to those Foo Fighters? The
Foo
lights.
Fighters?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I think the Foo Fighters were the real phenomenon that people were observing. But I'm just that's my perspective at this juncture. If I had good data one way or the other, it'd be interesting.
Yeah, that one fascinates me.
Yeah.
Because they were seen by so many pilots, allegedly.
Well, I mean, there's lights in the sky. I mean, there's the flying triangles in Belgium in '89, and there's all sorts of great cases everywhere. But did the Nazis succeed in gravity control? I just don't know. Did they succeed? I mean, were they the best brain trust on planet Earth at the time? You bet. Did they? Paperclip was absolutely gigantic and huge for our progress as a country.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And there's an interesting guy by the name of Todd Ritter, at toddritter.org. He speaks fluent German, but he investigates science and technology for basically German science and technology, and particularly historically one. He'd be a fun podcaster. He's done some good podcasts himself, all about Nazi technology. And
that does sound fun.
Yeah, it does. And, he basically found some documents that said, no, superconductivity was not discovered by a couple of guys that are on Wikipedia in the 80s. He's got German documents that basically show that describe superconductivity back in the 40s.
That's fucking scary. And
exactly. So he has some tremendous, but he's a primary source historian. He has a 5,000-page treatise on German technology, PDF on the web, and he does a lot. toddritter.org or Writer Institute, something to that effect.
Yeah, I'll have to check that guy out.
Yeah, he lives up in I want to say like Massachusetts.
Okay. Dangerously close as well.
Dangerously close, right? Yeah, exactly. So he's a very interesting source.
Have you looked at or talk with people who might be in the know around anything that they're doing at DARPA and how that may relate to reverse engineering that would tie into some of these companies we talked about, like Lockheed and Northrop and things like that?
Well, the one recent thing that came up in my gravity control investigation was a guy by the name of Dr. Brandenburg, who got a $200,000 DARPA contract for gravity control. He was tasked with just doing a theoretical paper and report, no experiments, but he had also
for $200,000.
$200,000.
I'll write a paper.
Yeah.
I'll do
well,
it.
I mean, I don't know what it involved or what the scope of the contract was, but he also claimed to have done some experiments before showing a 7% reduction in gravity in his experiments. But at the same time, that's the only DARPA mention that I can recall. 7% doesn't account for the fact that these cases, like Eddie Laxton's case, where you got something the size of a desk that can lift 2,000 or 3,000 kilograms.
Right.
And so you need something that's substantial. There's also these NASA guys that are doing electrostatics or various manipulations of gravity that are all in the margin. It's like, oh, I got like a 1/10 of 1% lift or something small. Or the work of Podglanoff and Ning Lee at Huntsville, Alabama, Tim Ventura and his work with the APEC group. He might be a fun podcast to
The
talk.
APEC group?
Yeah, APEC. If you type in APEC,
APEC?
advanced propulsion. But Tim Ventura runs a whole organization, 100 people or so, that is focused, loosely knit on gravity control and propulsion.
That's
APEC.
it right there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they do a variety of work on various scientists that are focused on gravity analysis and gravity work, and that's something that you could explore and look at. It's
Got it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. I've never heard of that.
yeah,
Okay.
they're he's really good. He's a former venture capitalist, physicist. He'd be a great interview.
Okay. I'll have to look into him. Watching the video, guys. If you haven't already subscribed, please smash that subscribe button and check out this clip's full podcast episode by clicking here